You know what I mean? We have all the UN, but like, hey, Antarctica, we can't touch. Shh, you can't tell anybody about
you're
this.
looking at the table like it's a map now.
Yeah, well, Antarctica.
He was very animated with his. Like I could see what he was.
It was
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
table
That was
for a
crazy.
minute.
So Antarctica.
They might not get it on the camera, but it was there.
Yeah.
Microphone, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not that high stakes.
no, you have to go that deep in the paint.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
man.
The first band fucking crushed it. Just like 2 or 3 20-minute songs where they're fucking around.
Yeah.
Modest Mouse played an entire album straight.
That's gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Monkey Shoulder. Have you had Monkey
I
Shoulder? yet?
haven't. Yeah,
Oh.
I've heard it from both of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mentioned
It's
this
very
name.
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy. Well, I found it on TikTok, and I sent it over to Kayla, and she's she's subliminally
Never shower without a loofah, you know?
Yeah,
It's a hairnet from
it's a hairnet.
we went on a brewery tour too. So.
Oh, nice.
yeah, we got
heck yeah.
Spraggers, like the root beer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool.
apparently they started out selling beer.
Yeah.
Dude, the owner, the founder, was in the army, and he was stationed in Germany.
Yeah.
So he ended up like getting a whole bunch of these like beer masters, whatever. So like he picked their brains, got some ideas, ended up bringing stuff back to the States, and it was just like handing out bottles to his friends, like, "Hey, this is really good. You should try it."
Yeah.
You know, everyone liked it. It kind of kept spreading. Founded the business. So yeah, he would you know, brew beers, sell it to his friends, and you know, the nearby establishment. And his wife is like, "Hey, you know, you're doing brewery tours. People are liking it, but what about the kids? Now, what about the kids?"
Okay.
So she's like,
Non-alcoholic root beer, baby.
"Boom, that's where it is. That's where we all know Spriters at this point. Is the root beer, right?"
Okay.
So yeah, the wife ended up, you know, branching into this new endeavor, like, and they would only give the sodas out during brewery tours for the kids.
Oh,
You
nice.
couldn't buy it. Like, if you asked for it, they wouldn't sell it to you. They say, no, it's for the tour kids. Right. So flash forward, 60, 80 years, that is 60% of their income.
Is now brew beer.
Root beer. Root beer alone. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think they make better root beer, or do you think they make better beer? Having been there.
I mean, well, I was just there, yeah. So they have actually an award-winning beer. It's called Roman numerals. It's like 12, so it's XII if you want to be technical. But yeah, like it was really good.
Yeah.
Want to be technical?
Actually.
Don't worry. Yeah, no. So their beers are really good. With the tour, we got like 4 or 5 free samples, whatever. We got some flights. But the sodas. Fun fact: they don't use any sugar. They don't use aspartame, any of that fake shit. It's honey.
Really?
Smart.
So even a root beer, like every soda, everything, it's a natural sweetener. So like you
That's
don't even have to
legit.
feel bad about drinking it. you know?
RFK probably won't shut them down.
He's been playing some words.
only the cat worms. Okay.
right.
Gotta make sure.
He's got a strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, when I go to Milwaukee, I go to Lakefront Brewery.
Okay.
That's a staple. You guys been?
I don't
I've
think
actually
so.
never been to Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee is
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's
hit or miss. Some
I think it's an
areas-
amazing city. I think it's an amazing city.
There's some
I go
areas.
every single year for Summerfest, and they always put on a fucking show.
Yeah.
And I always leave the city being like, "Hey, did you know about that? Did you see that? They got buildings that fucking light up and glow in the dark, 24/7."
That Pfister Hotel is like really
The
cool.
Pfister.
Yeah.
No, we stayed at the Pfister once. That was a good experience. The Hyatt downtown as well.
The Hyatt, yeah.
Isn't that where you that's where you traditionally do? Because isn't it a short walk to Summerfest?
Pfister was maybe like 5 minutes. It was
Yeah, I
a
was
really
just
like
saying,
literally
it's like,
you
it's just a
literally
straight
get on the
shoot.
road and yeah, it's a straight shot right to the fest.
Mhm.
So the Pfister was it's a staple, and I mean it's an old school hotel, right?
Yeah.
So you're
It's
not
like
gonna
a
get like
grand hotel. It's not
right,
like
right.
that
You're not gonna get
Titanic ceiling. Like you walk in there.
you're not gonna get the
you-
amenities you will at the Hilton, but it's an entirely different experience.
Yeah.
And you know, you could argue which way is better, but it's fun. I
Mhm.
love the Pfister. Really, really good vibes. to it,
Yeah,
you know,
we
it's
should
cool.
definitely make an effort to go to Summerfest. I didn't know that you've
Yeah.
never been to Milwaukee before,
Especially.
let
No.
alone Summer.
Well, we've been
Summerfest.
wanting to go to Summerfest, but all the last couple of year lineups. He doesn't
It's
like any of
been-
them, so they've been kind of
Dude,
No,
when,
they
when
haven't-
Justin Bieber and Shakira are headliners, I'm sorry, nothing against them, but that's just not I'm not going to travel
Yeah.
across the state.
like
for
they
it.
haven't
Yeah.
been the headliners haven't
Since
been
COVID,
good
it's
since
been rough.
COVID.
yeah.
it's like
2019 was lit. It was lit. You went to 2019 and it's like
We went
you had a
to-
blast.
Dude, we
who
paid
headlined
extra.
2019. Is
So
that
in the
Marshmello?
amphitheater, you have to pay extra for like some of the venues.
Yeah,
We ended up seeing Lil Wayne and Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg was there.
Lil
Okay.
Wayne and Snoop Dogg.
That'd have been crazy.
So, I mean, yeah, fucking 80, 120. I'll pay that any day.
yeah.
So what are we cheers into?
I guess to
Get
the
him- get him to
opening
the
of
Milwaukee.
Feature Pod, welcome back, and then I guess planning some Milwaukee Summerfest trip maybe.
It's a future adventures with good
Right.
friends, baby. Let's go.
Love it.
God
Yeah.
damn, some good bourbon, some good scotch.
Very like light, white oaky.
Mm-hmm.
Very
You
good.
said that's a scotch?
Yeah.
That is smooth.
It's like a
as
malt.
fuck.
It's a
Yeah.
malt. That's why you get that smoothness to it. But yeah, it's got some really good flavors to it
That's nice.
because it's got vanilla
It's
with
a
it,
lot of
spicy
high end
hints.
ones. It's a
Yeah.
lot of like I guess when I say high end, it's like not the dark bourbon. It's like the
Well, I see
not
why you're
oaky,
talking so
it's
highly
very-
about Monkey Shoulder.
And do you know at the very you may have to taste it again, but pay attention and see if you can find the orange. Yep. Yeah. So it's got
I mean,
a
I see it.
zesty
I
orange.
feel a citrusy background to
Mhm.
it. Yeah,
that's
You-
where I catch it in the back end of it all.
sure. I mean, I could tell pretty
The
quick.
citrus
but-
is right up front.
yeah, I could
definitely.
tell pretty
It's
quick.
a little bit of
But
like a sour bite. Almost.
For me, it's like with a scotch, there's usually a pretty big after note. Like you
Mhm.
get that kick in the dick.
Mhm.
This one
Yeah.
is very just
It's the
straight.
vanilla and the
it's the
honey.
same throughout.
It's consistent. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have that surprise, motherfucker. I'm a scotch. Right.
Yeah. It's like it reminds me like
oh.
the consistency of 1792.
yeah,
Yeah.
very smooth.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
just
it's the same all
consistent
the way
and smooth.
across. You're not
Oh,
gonna
yes.
get some
Respectable.
weird
That's
Mhm.
respectable.
after bite or aftertaste. Yeah, I don't know. Like for I don't know. It reminds me a lot of the commercial ones, right? Like when people suggest like, your Woodford Reserves and like your 1792s,
Hmm.
Monkey Shoulder kind of falls right into that area where it's just like you're gonna get the same flavor all the way across.
And
But
when were they established? It seems like this is a relatively new one. Otherwise, we would have already heard about it before. now,
maybe
you know?
that's the thing though. I don't know. Like we never heard of Lusty Claw before. We tried it like 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but that one's been around forever. So I'm not sure.
Oh, shit.
Like there's just a lot.
Well, so the distillery's been around, established in 1887.
Eighteen-
That's
Teenage-
fluff.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fluff.
Yeah.
You know, and our great grand founder started
talk
it,
to me when you got like a 400-year.
but then he
you know
sold
what I
it
mean?
4 times and went through 10
10
renaming,
different
brandings.
names and-
Yeah. So like,
I don't believe it.
I think that number is kind of hyped up a bit.
As for Monkey Shoulder, it does not express on when they created it and released it to the market. It just tells you when it was founded. It was in
It doesn't have to.
1887. So
It doesn't
So-
even have to give a name or a number. It's just like, I'm fucking Monkey Shoulder. You're gonna
Yeah.
love it anyway.
You see the 3 monkeys on here, dude?
You're gonna love it no
You're gonna buy
matter
this
what
bottle.
it is. Yeah. What's
There's
the
no
point?
ifs, ands, or
That's
buts about
irrelevant.
it.
Yeah.
You're buying it.
You're right.
And I was like, all right.
Gotta
Like,
love
I
Scotland.
yeah,
respect
I
them.
understood.
They're
I
really
got the
flexing.
assignment,
Mhm.
Normally, like people want to put all kinds of numbers and like get this signs, whatever. Monkey Shoulder is like, no,
Yeah.
I'm Monkey Shoulder.
Or they want to
That's
get
what I'm
backed
leaning
by
on.
like 50 Cent or Conor McGregor or something like. They don't. Monkey Shoulder doesn't even need that.
It really doesn't.
it doesn't.
It
does not.
rests on its own laurels.
Mm.
It doesn't need steroids. The Pez, I
Yeah.
think, is kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, the
theme in
steroids
this
of
day.
being
Yeah.
backed by a celebrity.
It's
Yeah.
the Lou Ferrigno bodybuilding right there.
all natural, baby. all Monkey Shoulder.
All Monkey Shoulder.
That's something.
Oh, shit.
Well, I'm happy you had a good time in Milwaukee.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's dope.
Guys, I got nothing tonight. It's kind of nice, like just not having anything because I
There's
don't
no
know.
pressure.
This last
Mhm.
week, I kind of just like went through. I started reading books again too. So like, Kayla bought me a couple of books. One of them's like the Book of Unusual Knowledge, and it's like a paper, or it's like a leatherback book, but it has like probably 1,000 pages of just random facts about everything.
Isn't that what they call the anarchist cookbook now? Like, get it through.
I mean, I can
unusual
read that
knowledge
on the internet, all right?
What?
but
the Book of Unusual Knowledge. That sounds
Yeah.
really interesting.
And
What does
then-
that like entail?
It just has random facts. So like every page, there's probably like some random thing about some other topic that you've never heard of before.
Huh.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's just like a lot. And then it's part of a 4-book collection. One of them's like the Book of Answers. I have that one as well. One of them is like the Book of Questions or the Book of Whys. They kind of just have like a bunch of different ones like
So
that.
it's like philosophical in a sense.
Not really, but it's more of just like the most random facts of all time. So like I don't know if
I love random facts.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot of like useless knowledge up here.
Same. It's
that
never like
never is gonna get used.
it's never gonna help me.
Mhm.
right.
But it's cool at a party. You're just trying to make conversation with a stranger.
Yep. Yep.
Fun fact: did you guys know there was a guy that survived both atomic bombs in
Yes.
World War II?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I did
so
know that.
unfortunate.
That's bad luck.
Mhm.
So if ever you feel bad about yourself, hey,
Well, or really good luck, depending on how you look at it.
could always be worse.
Yeah.
You're right. Another
Um,
fun fact: did you know the pistol shrimp, when it clicks its snapper or does what it does, it's actually hotter than the surface of the sun.
No
Wow.
kidding. I did not know that.
Yep.
That would
I think
burn.
9-10 million degrees.
Holy
And it's
cow.
only for like a fraction of a second.
just
right?
stuff to piss you off.
The moment it snaps. Right. And that's how it
Mm.
kind of concusses its prey to be able to eat it.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
just insane.
Mhm.
Literally, there's shit hotter than the sun chilling on our planet.
Somebody should try to like take that energy and like extract it as a hot sauce. And then you can have a 9 million degree.
Let's turn pistol
Hot
shrimp
sauce.
whips
Right.
into
Yeah.
hot sauce. Okay, now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking.
Get it?
Yeah.
Pistol shrimp hot sauce. Let's go. Yeah.
You get a nice crustacean aftertaste.
Really good on shrimp. Really good in a
crackers.
cocktail.
Some Chianti and fava beans.
Did you guys hear about the new conspiracy theory in regards to DNC and P Diddy?
I don't know if
Diddy.
we can talk about that on YouTube.
I know. I wish she would have turned more darker in the '90s, so we had a longer time with her. With
Dark
her,
Betty White.
because she was always
She's going
Miss
dark.
Goody Two Shoes all the way up until after the Golden Girls. She's always had
She
this.
had sold her
goody
soul
girl.
earlier to
You
the
saying
devil.
like pull like a Roseanne or something like that? Where you just,
Well, she didn't really embrace her sarcastic sides and becoming really dark and twisted until the mid 2000s, and like you really got to see her shine in like the proposal.
That was
and such.
actually dementia. She's just a great lady, but then dementia kicked in and now it's slapstick. Now people are like, oh, now she got
Slapstick.
spicy. But no,
Uh,
that's like a medical thing. We shouldn't be making fun of that. That's hard.
She is definitely spicy,
Fucking to Betty White.
but she was definitely good looking back
Betty
then.
White.
Yeah, Betty White. There we go. Cheers.
to Betty White.
Yep.
Oh
Dude,
man.
I mean, you may not want to admit it, but she's a national
Oh,
treasure.
yeah.
She put in work.
Yeah, she did.
Good
That
lady.
she did.
Good lady.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm excited. Tomorrow I take off to go to Nebraska.
Hey, getting that hunting trip in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Get that
It's gonna be
Blaze
a
Orange.
blast. I got one of my buddies is reaching out to me. It's like, hey, so it's like, because he obviously forgot. I told him I was like, I'm not taking off until Friday morning to head on down there. So it's like, all right, I got my fucking reviews done for work. It's like I had to review myself. So it's
Oh,
like,
that's self-evaluate.
oh yeah, ChatGPT.
Self-evaluation. you
Yeah.
guys
Well, they
have to
don't
do
even let
that?
us score ourselves anymore. You just have to
Yeah,
like,
they-
make some comments, be like, "This is how I feel holistically."
That's so lame.
that's how, it's so
Five,
lame.
five,
Like
five.
Yeah, give me a 5 out of 5 or
max,
something.
max,
you know?
max score.
Yeah.
I put one less than max score because I like to be,
Mhm.
you know,
A little bit of
A little
self-critical.
humble, right,
Self-critical. Yeah, you
I know
gotta
it's
have a little bit of that.
Right.
Just a tad bit.
Oh, I hear you.
Not a
So
lot.
I just use ChatGPT to do my review. I just put up some details and it took me 20 minutes to do all 3 questions. On average, post was like 170 words. So it's like perfect. It's not bullshit to get them by.
It also
Do you
includes a
think that
picture.
do you think that they're gonna check you back on the AI? Like,
No.
It
You're gonna
includes a
run it through,
picture
like,
with
an
a hand with
AI.
like 7 fingers. So
No,
like, they're not gonna have to
I
try.
proofread it to make sure it doesn't make sure it all makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah. I proofread it, tweak some things, remove some
Made
some
it
verbiage.
human.
Yeah,
you
it's-
know.
But
That's
yeah,
funny.
it's like that's what we're coming into. It's like they just want a
Might as well.
PC answer. So it's like, why not just give them somebody to do it for me?
Might
It only
as
took
Yeah.
me 20 minutes to do it. So it's like before, like I'd sit there and like it'd take me like an hour to do it
How
all.
did
It's
it
like,
take you 20 minutes to plug a question into ChatGPT?
oh no, to do the entire thing.
Oh, from beginning to end.
Yeah,
A few like it didn't save right. I had to restart. Okay.
no,
yeah.
well, it's just tweaking the answers, making sure I put enough background information this way that what it spit out was accurate enough to make
Oh,
sure.
wow,
it
okay.
falls
So
into
you
place.
actually did review it and like
Oh yeah, proofread.
give it the
some of that.
human touch, the
Mhm.
pizzazz.
Yeah.
per
Yeah, and make
se.
sure to put it in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
first person POV and stuff like that, and put it in like if you're doing a review. And I went and found some unique prompts to make streamline the process to
Did
like
you
make sure it's lined up the way I want
run
to.
it through like the thesaurus though?
Oh, it was the punctuation and the spell check was all right.
Well, I'm just saying like rephrase it so it has fancier words. So then they're like,
It's-
man,
it's
whoever
got-
wrote this
You
yeah,
don't
to be
need that.
CEO, right?
It has the proper amount of buzzwords to
Come
suffice
on.
the DEI.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the higher up you get, like the more you just want to fucking cram shit. It's called fluff. right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they like
fluff is annoying. and
Oh,
nobody
there's a couple
likes that.
there's a couple of my leaders that would
That's-
write.
That's what they go on.
They,
Yeah.
they would write like 100 words. All I needed was 6 words to tell me what they want to do. So I'd read all this other shit. It's like, where's the
Yeah.
what's the real point you're trying to get through?
When you work for the government, they like that fluff.
Yeah, but when you work for efficiency, like the new Doge or something
Doge,
like
yeah.
that.
Those
no.
are actually mutually exclusive, though. The government and efficiency. So,
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we fluff.
But somebody's gonna come by and combine them, and then everybody's gonna have fun.
We can only hope. We can only hope,
Right.
man.
But
I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
man, yeah, I'm ready for it too. This is like the first time I've been like hopeful about like government for a long time, so I know like I get a little bit hopeful about it.
Get out,
Anyways,
kitty.
Before we get completely away from your hunting trip, I bought a DMR. I bought the
No kidding. You
Yeah.
bought 308?
I bought the gun that I wanted. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, congratulations, man. So
I
now
should
he's got to
be
figure out.
here Monday next week.
Now he just got to go optic shopping.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Let's go to
But-
fucking Vortex.
Um, it co-
Because they have the showroom where you can buy everything you want right there, and you get to look it out, and they give you out their back, basically the yard they have. It's like you can actually look several hundred yards, so you can actually get
Nice.
an idea like what one you want to go with and what your price point is, and then you just figure out if you want to spend
Yeah.
the money now and then, or just wait and like or you think it's like, hey, I want this one. It's like, all right, well, I'll reach out and get the 50% discount. It's like, I want this $1,000 scope, $500.
yeah.
Totally,
that'd be
it's like that'd be the right way to go. Like
Yeah.
there's a scope that they have. They have the military scope contract where it's like $12,000 per unit. It's insane. Where it has target acquisition, range finding, all this fun
That's
stuff.
hefty.
It
You
makes
got like the AI.
it makes
prop
the
that you
Marines'
can
life
get.
Cost
so
us
much
$10. We're charging the
Yeah.
government 12,000.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
if you're a Marine, it comes with your own special package of crayons too, so it's great.
Nice.
Hey,
They're really thinking
Heck
forward.
yeah.
they really do. That's all inclusive. That's
All right.
respectable.
But the real one, the real badass one is that they have. It's an ASA one that they use for the military spec ops over there, and it is just insane. The thing weighs like almost like 2 pounds, but it's all glass, and it's just the amount of engineering they went through it. Like they shopped around to multiple people or multiple companies do it, and everybody says they can't do it, but they said fuck it, we'll do it, and they pulled it off. And
Boeing
it's
took the contract and
Yeah.
it's gonna fall apart in midair. In a couple.
this is Vortex. They did a phenomenal job. It is but it's. I think they're selling them to the government over there because it's like they're only making like 20 some. So it's like
Oh, they like
That's
limited.
limited
very
order,
limited.
special edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
are
like
all-
only going to the CEOs. At
I
that
bet it's
point,
engraved.
yeah,
It's
like-
signed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Only
you're
going
doing
for-
that limited print.
only going to SF
Yeah.
over there in the UK, man. So it's like the only select you can get the stuff. So but they're saying they're selling them for $4,000. So it's like, nice to be like, you just get a couple years once because right now it's under exclusive military contract. But
Yeah.
once it's no longer exclusive, it's going to come to the civilian world. So we're going to see
Yeah.
a lot of massive upgrades.
5 years from now, people
That'd
are
be
gonna
nice.
like open source it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
it's gonna be
3D
tough.
printed, and yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Once
knows?
it's some released, you know,
It's the glass.
give it to the
'cause
public.
Some of the glass is like that thick. It's insane, but only
Some of
about that big.
It's like telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
level.
it's insane.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
really cool what they're coming up with.
You can-
When I was over there in April, taking the tour of the warehouse and the factory over there in Vortex, I mean, it blew my mind, like all the stuff we got to do. Because last year's tour and this year's tour are 2 different tours.
Mhm.
We actually got to go down and talk to people that are on the floor and such, and
Taking it
got
the
to go
next
into
level.
one of the rooms where they do all the testing stuff like that. So when they test all of their optics, they actually have a machine that's on a separate slab, so this way they can test the recoil 10,000 times to figure out how well it survives.
Consistency.
Yeah, so this way they can maintain that high
That's some
level.
good data
It's a-
right there.
Yeah.
That's some good data. Speaking of data, so when I was out in Milwaukee, we went to Marquette University,
Mhm.
and they actually have like a Tolkien, Lord of the Rings collection.
Really?
So yeah, they have like handwritten notes, like chronologic, like everything from like how he was building everything.
Really?
Really, really
How
cool.
they managed to obtain that collection? That's pretty impressive.
His son, actually, I'm not sure the affiliation or how one came to the other, but his son donated a lot of personal possessions to this library.
I
No
can see
kidding. That's
that.
pretty legit.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
So
and speaking of Marquette, that's alma mater for the late great Chris Farley.
yeah, no. Philo was telling me he's like he
Mhm.
actually ended up staying in the same dorm as Chris Farley.
No shit.
Yeah.
Talk
So,
about
like,
some
that's
history.
crazy.
Yeah, this dorm, like they got antics, man. They got stories.
These halls could tell you legends, man.
You're right, right. If these halls
And-
could talk.
And the cool thing is, all the shit they did is never recorded.
right, that's the best part. Probably for the better.
Right?
Yeah, no, really, really cool collection. Did you know from the time
Did
he
you get to
actually?
visit it though when you were out
Yeah.
there? Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, that's why we went to Marquette.
Oh,
Was just for the Tolkien estate. Yeah, it took him 17 years from the time he put pen to paper to actually publishing his first book.
wow.
Dang.
That's a lot of R&D.
This guy has like he created a moon phase for his world and story.
Yeah.
So there's like calendars.
That's
Tolkien is
crazy.
always like, I mean, he's got to be one of the craziest like world builders.
He's
We're
got
just
to
talking
be on the
about, like-
spectrum, man. He's got some tism.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
OCD for
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
17 years
Yeah.
before he released our first book. That's
He-
impressive.
That guy
Actually,
is the spectrum at
he
that point.
ended up.
But he made like the Elven language and like
That's what it is. It
Yeah.
all originated because from my friend.
Mushrooms?
More than likely, but that came later. That's how he fleshed it out. you know?
Right.
It started as like bedtime stories to his kids.
Oh,
He
creative.
ended up like starting creating this elven language that he'd put into bedtime stories for his kids. And he's like, this is actually really fun for me. So then he kind of fleshed it out and he's like, well, who spoke these words? What
Mhm.
world did they live in? Who surrounded them? Right? So just from this made up shit to make the kids happy at the end of the night.
He had to be
created one
real
of the
smart. I bet his
best-
IQ is probably 170.
I mean, I
or
don't know.
like below 80, you know?
One or the other. He's like the Rain Man. The Rain Man. Right?
No, I don't think. I don't think he was able to talk to a woman.
I think
You know,
you're-
Yeah, baby. He was doing it.
I mean, we all agree he's got like some tendencies. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be creating moon phases for like 2,000 years of
like
story.
not a real
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it was crazy. Even cooler. So there's a professor over at Marquette that he kind of oversees the English department.
Okay.
And he keeps up the Tolkien estate, the collection. So right now he's actually doing a sociology experiment. I got the QR code at my house right now. He gave us a piece of paper, but he's doing an experiment where anyone can go on, anyone who likes Lord of the Rings, Tolkien, and he asks a few questions. How did you find out about this world? Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, all of it.
Yeah.
What drew you into it? And what did you gain from it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he puts this data up publicly. He's actually curating it, right?
Is he making a doctoral
Okay.
report paper on it, or he's already?
No.
He's already.
I mean, he's already a prof.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do those anymore.
Mhm.
But I think he's doing it for posterity, right? To show the reach. I think he said when we were out there, he's got his goal is 8,000. He's got
Okay.
like 1,500, give or take.
Some perspective
Like
on.
data
Of
entry
these
and all
interviews,
that,
right?
yeah.
He'll do a Zoom meeting. So like
Okay.
he'll put out his calendar and you can pick a time. It's about 15 minutes, give or take.
Did you do that yet?
Not yet, because I just got back today and I've been sleeping because I didn't get
You
back
gotta
till
plan
4
this
a.m.
stuff right away. dude.
I'm gonna try, man. Like he was really, really cool. Like he had a lot
Yeah.
of knowledge, gave us some good like podcasts. Oh, if you're interested in this, check out this podcast, this YouTube.
That's
like,
exciting.
yeah, and I'm just curious about the data because he told us he's only got 1,500 out of the 8,000 goal interviews.
Mhm.
40 plus countries are it.
Impressive.
Ages ranging from like 8 years old into 90.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So-
impressive. That's a good reach. That's a
And-
really good spectrum.
And as like a nerd, like a data guy and an analyst, like
Mhm.
I'm just curious to sift through that data. Like, how far is Tolkien's reach? Age
I mean,
8 to
we know it's
93.
pretty far, obviously. Like you got
Right.
the, I don't know, you got all the films. Like
Well,
the films, like
Christopher
increased
Lee
at
actually had a
1,000,000
conversation with
folds.
Tolkien.
The
and
films. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
the films.
just
yeah.
think about like who hasn't seen Lord of the Rings.
The Peter Jackson.
Do you know anybody in your friend group who has not watched one of the 3 Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I mean, not everyone's. as big
I'm
with
so
her.
old school. I started watching the cartoon
I've
version
seen
of
the
Leonard Nimoy.
70s, 80s animated ones.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
That's-
not that much of in there.
that's
I
how
never
I
even
got
watched the
introduced
Hobbit
to the-
movies, but you
Yeah.
know,
I never got in the Hobbit
like-
movies either.
Oh,
So
shame.
yeah,
but
they're good.
that's what
they're
I'm
good,
wondering
though.
though. Like, can you?
Never.
I don't think I can name one person in my friend group that wouldn't have seen one of the Lord of the Rings movies at one point in their life.
No, I got a few people. Like, not everyone is into film or movies, and they
Mhm,
got different
mhm.
hobbies. You know,
What do they do?
I don't fucking know. I keep asking them, and they keep darting the question. I'm not 100%, but like we're like.
Why
Even
did
Jeff,
Tolkien
like
hurt
he's
you?
he's a hunter, but he still watches film. Like,
Yeah,
but some people that's not their thing. They don't watch any movie.
Lived down the fucking
media.
country. All we had to do was watch movies. My
Yeah.
stepdad was big
I
into
just-
watching movies.
so like even if you don't watch movies, right? Like say you don't watch like Star Wars,
You have
don't
to
watch.
know.
Yeah, there
You
has
have to know.
there's like
Mhm.
general like
But see,
culture built around it.
I didn't
right?
watch Game of Thrones
Never
until like a
seen-
decade after it came out.
Never seen an episode
because
of
I
it.
was all like,
But
everyone's
you know,
talking about it. It's annoying. I'm gonna go against the grain.
the,
you know?
the
I'm
thing
gonna-
is though, the thing is like I've never seen an episode, but if you tell me that winter is coming, I can get the reference, right?
you never seen Game of
Mhm.
Never watched an
Thrones
episode.
to this day.
And if you told me that what is it, Jon Snow is in there, I would know that. If you told me like the white zombies are beyond the wall or
The
something
White
like that.
Walkers.
Yeah, I can tell you references.
Bro,
It's part of the culture.
I think
right?
to this day,
I don't think I have to watch the show to get the culture.
my biggest
references.
complaint with Game of Thrones is like I was totally brought into Game of Thrones expecting dragons.
And they
And
kept
there was
bringing
like
out Warvins.
there was like 7 episodes of dragons out of 9 seasons. The dragons were a very minuscule part, and I thought they would just come in and wreck the day. Like,
and the
I-
worst part is they're not even dragons; they're Warvins. It's like that's the worst part
Wraiths
about
or-
the.
whatever
yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't know
'cause-
what that means.
So the
but-
difference is because what makes it between a
different word
Warvin and
for
a dragon.
Yeah, it's like
no,
a
well,
word.
dragons actually have 4 appendages
We're getting
and wings.
anatomically.
And
into
what makes the
what
difference from a
constitutes
Warvin
a
is that
dragon.
Warvins are actually much smaller, and they only have 4 appendages, which is 2 wings and 2 feet. That's it. So where dragons they have 6 appendages. 4 of them are feet, and then the first fronts could be hands too, and then they have the 2 wings on top of that. So that's what makes the difference between the two, and their sizes are much smaller. So they just cheapen down.
When did you get your cryptozoology degree?
Oh, I've always been big into dragons. You just see my dragon collection.
So a dragon has 6 appendages.
He
but-
is the spectrum.
Fucking darn right, man. Yeah.
Let me tell you about the
Yeah,
difference between a
we
wraith and a dragon.
We can have
Yeah.
Jeff write a book.
I'm not that good.
He's really good with moon phases.
That's a good point. You know,
It's a new moon tomorrow, Jeff.
so I mean,
500 years
that
from
means
now,
Saturday's gonna be good. They're gonna be up on their
there's
feet.
going to be a college museum
they're gonna be up on their
dedicated
feet.
to
They're
like,
gonna be
some
up on their feet
random
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeff philosophy. We got
It's funny. It's like
Dragon is 6.
Saturday's supposed to be 60 degrees. It's gonna
Yeah.
be warm out,
It's gonna be real nice.
but then it's gonna transition. So Wednesday's supposed to rain, and it's gonna transition to snow. So I was like, "Fucking go!" I'm all
it's
for
gonna
it.
snow soon.
No, not up here. Not up here. It's only gonna rain.
I don't want it.
Down there, it's gonna snow. But it's like it's
If we
Nebraska.
get
And it's
lucky,
further south
maybe
than
we
here.
just never have snow this
again,
whole
ever
winter.
again.
Yeah,
Ever
ever,
again. yeah.
ever.
If we're lucky. I thought we were going pie in
You
the
know?
sky on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, climate change is bad," and that, and this, and that, and the other. But like, what if we could harvest corn more days out of the year because it got warmer up on this side of the planet? I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm not an expert.
Yeah,
but,
like
honestly, living in Wisconsin,
if
being
there's
less
a
cold
drought in
doesn't
the
sound that
Sahara
bad.
for a couple more years, and we somehow have more.
I was
heat up
reading an
here, we're
article a
fine.
couple days ago. I think it was the Sahara, but it was one desert where in the history of recorded, there has never been snow, but it snowed in the desert.
Yeah, it just happened
Yeah.
earlier this year.
Wasn't that
Mhm.
Sahara?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sahara, something like that.
Yeah.
Sahara, yeah, the Sahara, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
One in
Sahara,
Africa,
Sahara.
the biggest one in Africa. That
Yeah.
one.
I think it's like a
It's like
little.
Dusty one.
Yeah.
The sand over
The
there.
sa- it's got sand?
Yeah.
and
It's
snow
really
now,
hot.
and
yeah.
snow.
Well, considering like
apparently.
some
Yeah.
parts of Colorado's already seen almost 2 feet of snow.
Well,
Yeah, and
that's
then,
because of the elevation, though, too.
Well, but there's even lower level, not because you expect like 8,000, 12,000, correct? But when you
Right.
start getting into that lower elevation between that 3 to 5, they're starting to see that much amount of snow already but it's which is oddly a normal. It's unnormal to see that like this late in the season. But like for an example, out in Roswell, New Mexico, they got 4 inches of rain and it flooded out there.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean,
And we
wasn't it
have
last year
we have currently
California had that
ongoing
too?
wildfires out in the west.
No, yeah, no.
Which it's like
California
we're
was
in
going
November.
through
We should not be
historic
having
floodings,
wildfires out
too.
there. What's that?
So
Historic floodings in California too.
Mhm. Yeah.
you had
Early this
mentioned
year.
Roswell, New Mexico. Did
Yeah.
you guys watch like the UFO stuff yesterday?
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, we are talking about
Wait,
the
what
tech group.
got released yesterday?
Yesterday there was like a pretty big congressional hearing for like all
Ooh.
things UFO. So they were going through.
So Congress was
UAPs,
like, "Hey, give us your
UFOs.
data, give
Yeah.
us the
It,
info."
it was
Yeah.
like asking every question.
Didn't they
that
do this like a
could.
year or two ago? That's what we got the
They've
Navy
done-
report from.
They've done it a while. Yeah,
I feel like they do this every few
couple
years.
years or whatever.
Right.
But
Mhm.
You get some
yesterday-
other
yeah,
inkling.
you get a little bit more info, every
little more
time, a little bit
clues.
more
Yeah.
disclosure.
Right.
What was it like yesterday? It was the word was non-human biologic. That was the word that kind of came out of yesterday's report.
Non-human, like
And it was
biology,
yeah,
not
non-human
human
biology.
DNA,
It
like
could have been defecating, could have been
anything that's just not human,
human.
but organic.
But it was
Right.
obtained from the crashed aircrafts, right? So
like Roswell.
yeah, they like confirmed that yesterday. Inadvertently, but they did, like just
Whoops.
through like implied.
They probably ran it through
You
Chat
know.
GPT. They're like, I
See
got
what
the end of year
see what
coming
she
up. Just give me a summary of some shit.
Non-human biologic. Yeah.
God damn it! I didn't proofread that one sentence, and now we
But-
accidentally revealed it.
all of my homies on Twitter are like, deciphering this in real time, and they're getting all like
Right,
animated
right,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And of course, you have like the conspiracies right away. The right one, the one that I've seen a lot of is that the devil or like the UAPs are like demons, right? That's the one that everybody's kind of coming out with
Demons.
right now.
What if they're actually the gods? What if they're just so
I mean, the gods
advanced?
that we thought, yeah,
They're just so advanced. I mean,
they're gods to us.
as a human being, God is such a high, like we can't fathom. We can't
Mhm.
understand it in our limited knowledge.
Yeah.
But couldn't you
Mhm.
argue that about aliens? Like if they have billions of years on us of knowledge and
Oh, yeah.
technology.
Mhm.
I think, Carl Sagan, there's been people that have said, well, what is magic but just shit we don't understand, right?
Mhm. It's a good
So
point. Mhm.
anything could be godlike from your understanding. Like if
Correct.
we went back
Yeah.
500, 1,000, 2,000 years ago and showed them
Mhm.
full autos, showed them a lighter, even
Mhm.
like anything, they'd be like, "Oh my god,
and Graham-
oh my god, you're a magic man,
Yeah.
Graham-
burn them."
And Graham Hancock is
Which?
yeah.
We're gonna cut out your heart.
And
Yeah.
Graham Hancock has consistently
right
brought
through
up
it.
that we are a civilization of we're a civilization that has amnesia, so we always forget everything we've always done. But I think it's almost done by design, where we kill off everybody that could pass on knowledge.
So speaking on that subject,
I think God is like some type of spiritual thing, though. So I think
Mhm.
like
it's
when
abstract. It's
when
not
people
a
talk
thing.
about a lot, well, because like an alien shows up in a ship or whatever, people aren't going to be like, "Oh, that's God,"
Right.
because yes, I don't understand it. No, I don't quite understand what they're doing with their flashy laser weapons, killing everybody
All
or
their
whatever.
tentacles and shit.
Yeah, I just say they have 8 arms.
Is that hentai? Is that alien?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mega.
I don't understand like the time dilation that happens in the movie Arrival, but I wouldn't call it that is God, right? God is something spiritual. It's probably from within more than
More
it's
internal than
external.
external, right?
Mhm.
So, to that point, I guess, like if the spiritual entities that are coming down from the earth or from out of the sky or whatever, if they're like demons, quote unquote, maybe they're just trying to get us to think that they're God because they can do so much more. And then since we don't understand it, we're supposed to worship them, but that's like what God is telling you not to do,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Giving you a
That could
warning.
be some
right?
type
Yeah.
of
To avoid idolatry.
Yeah.
essentially.
yeah.
No
And that could be
false idols.
some type
Mhm.
of some type of spiritual thing. I don't know. I'm just
I like
thinking
that.
in
I like
terms
that.
of
You're right.
yeah.
the
I'm
fact
thinking in
that
terms of spiritual
God
stuff.
is more
If
internal
you,
than
if you
external.
rewind it 2,000 years ago, if they saw something that all of a sudden you see a burning bush, it's like, well, what the fuck is this? They have no other point
pretty
of
weird.
reference. So when you do it, it's like think of it, it's like they think it's something on high, but it's like now it's like, well, now we have science the idea is to try to disprove it. Like, what's the chemical reaction to it? What's the foundation of why this said bush lit up? Was there a geyser of methane gas? It's like somebody happened to fart and off,
A bug farted.
But now it's like
A bug.
but then at that time
like
it's
the
like, well,
butterfly
maybe
effect, you
since
know?
it's
Bug
unexplainable.
farting causes religion 2,000 years down the road.
That DMT will get you, man. That contact high.
Dude was tripping on fermented grapes.
Yeah.
Fucking
right.
was passed out in a cave. A bug farted.
Contact.
Nothing. Yeah.
It'll get you. Like,
And a burning
it'll get
bush, and
number
now we
one.
have God.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I think we're onto something here, boys.
I
Right?
couldn't have made it any better myself. Like even if I tried.
I think it's there if you look at it.
Yeah. I was there, definitely. Been there before.
We all haven't we all? Haven't we all? Mistaken bug farts for God.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I've not
Drink
witnessed.
to
It'd
that.
be fun to witness is the cicadas coming out of the ground, and you watch them and
Was that every 13 years?
They have different cycles. Some are 7, some are 13.
Okay.
Like
We
this,
had a double bloom this year.
double bloom this year. Yeah,
Lucky us.
Crazy.
but it didn't happen here.
Flatted a little
I
bit.
know. I mean, look.
Missouri and
All
Illinois
right.
had a really big hatching, but really up further up north we didn't see it. I think it's like based off our climate and stuff like that, and with the warmth, the length of the warming season, or cold, it's like it makes
Sure.
sense. Why it would happen further south than it would be up north.
A little bit.
Yeah, I
Completely.
barely even like remember the June bugs this year. Usually
Mm.
they
It
like,
really
all
wasn't
that
year
bad.
round.
And mayflies weren't that big either.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't those
We-
the same things though?
Yeah, that's what
June
Mayfly,
bugs or
June-
mayflies?
yeah, like-
Mayflies and June bugs. Same
It's like the
things.
Okay.
They come at
yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
They come in July.
Yeah.
Rough,
You know,
give or
yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Oh, with the polar, like the
Oh, those are the July
shifting
flies.
weather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
those are
the
Mayflies.
November flies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really want to
Climate
kind
change,
of I want
baby.
to circle back to the extinction thing you were talking about, the extinction events.
Okay.
Brady, have you played Death Stranding? I'm not referring to you because I know you're not big into games.
I have
Death
watched
Stranding.
all the way through it. Yeah. It's
So you
going by
understand the
Daryl
storyline of
Dixon
it?
and- yeah. Well,
So-
I don't know if I really understood it.
Well, I mean, it's very abstract.
Yeah.
And that's classic.
Yeah.
You know that, and that's why it's
it
so
was-
good
who-
too.
Is it the guy who makes Metal Gear Solid? and all that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Metal Gear.
I can't think of his name right now. So don't.
Kajami.
I'm gonna. Yeah,
it's gonna be
Hijami
really bad.
Something. Yeah, I'm gonna botch the name.
Kajami. Yeah.
I know I'm familiar with.
But
Yeah.
he's very respected game designer, one of
Yeah.
the best to ever do it.
Mhm.
Mad respect. But in Death Stranding, they bring up the concept
Oh,
of
Hideo Kojima. Sorry.
Hideo Kojima.
Look at-
There it is. There it is.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
looking. Good looking, man. And you
I
fucking
remember.
pronounce that.
Yeah.
Chef's Kish. Chef's Kish.
Chef's Kish, yeah. Well,
That's
so-
how we're updating the expression.
We're
Yeah.
good. Chef's
Chef's Quiche.
got some spinach on top. Got some cheese.
Get some
some
egg, yeah,
It's a really good chef's
Scramble
quiche.
that. Whip
Yeah.
it. Whip it.
I love the quiche. I
Looking
love
real
it.
good.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Quiche,
Um,
I think.
Shame. But yeah, no, in that game, they bring up the concept of extinction events. And I think science is actually kind of digging into that a bit too.
Go for it. I still gotta drive.
Oh, you still got to drop. So no more.
Yeah, I'm good. Between these two right here,
My ice is
I'm
like
comfortable.
floating right now, so it's getting
Mm.
melty. I'm not trying to cut you off either, Ryan. You can keep going.
Good looking. Good looking.
You want any more?
Nah, so I got to keep up, man. You guys are fucking kicking my ass over here.
Well, you,
I've just been talking so much.
got
I've been
AI to drive
such
you
a good
home.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have analog right now.
Oh, yeah, even
Dude,
more.
yeah,
even
so this
more.
is something to think about because I know you're about to talk about like extinction events. So
Yeah.
let me just like, I'm gonna bypass that for 1 moment, 1 second. Put a pin in
There's
it.
a lot to unpack with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's-
It also
Um,
comes down to what Robert Graham Hancock and Dr. Ron Carlson have been talking about over the last couple of years. So yeah,
We can
Oh,
bring
yeah.
up aliens
Pin.
in that
Oh,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Pin.
parking lot,
Yeah.
parking lot,
Parking lot.
Yeah, parking lot it. Yeah.
fucking
Alright,
Bagelon.
No, so when you drive with your auto drive, right? And say you're just like letting it drive and it gets into a car accident, you're fully liable for that, right?
100%.
How do you think insurance companies are going to handle that in like 10 years when everybody's self-driving?
Well, they're already doing it now. They're just going to perpetuate what's already been established. Having a Tesla, you pay higher insurance in general.
You pay higher insurance right now?
Oh, one, it's considered a sports car.
Okay, well, yeah,
considering
that would be
0
it
to 60
then.
in 4 seconds.
Yeah, that
Oh,
would
and
be it.
the AI. So
Mhm.
they automatically charge a higher premium,
Yeah.
It's like why the
thinking
fuck
that in
not?
advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like why not?
Right. So there's various insurances. I hear Tesla does their own insurance now. That it's one of the better rates.
Mhm.
Thankfully, I got my own through Erie, and fucking God bless them. They gave me $700 for a full year.
That's not
No,
bad.
that's so
You're looking at
nice.
3,000 I've heard.
That's
About,
like an average of
like
3K
anywhere from like 17 to 23 is the national average, give or take.
for a Tesla.
Right, for full
Yeah.
insurance, right.
Because
So-
that's why I haven't bought like a really nice car yet. I've never really priced out.
You got to look it
insurance.
up. And
But
that's
like if I buy like a Lambo,
that's
or
where I got the
something,
Dodge
it's gonna be-
Avenger instead of
Yeah.
the
I'm gonna
Dodge
be
Challenger.
spending
You can get-
3K a month or
Well,
4K
no,
a
you
month
can get
on it.
seasonal insurance on it, so because it's like you're not going to drive a $250,000
That's
vehicle
true.
or something in
That's
the
true.
wintertime.
That's true. But
yeah.
I might. It's 4-wheel drive.
Same reason I didn't get the Challenger because
Yeah.
I got the Dodge Avenger.
I know somebody who bought a Challenger and he
and they
spends
didn't expect the
3K
sports
a month on it. Yeah, it's
right,
like, okay,
right.
well,
So you got to.
you know.
So yeah, no. To answer your question, I think they do that automatically just by registering it as a sports.
and you
car.
got like the best deal of all time on it. So
Yeah, Erie
in
Insurance.
terms of insurance.
So they are branched.
Do
in-
they cover
Erie,
everywhere in the
Pennsylvania.
U.S. though?
They can, yes.
Okay.
So they originate in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
And have you heard of Erie Insurance? Really? Have you?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I looked
Vaguely?
it up once. And
Vaguely.
Yeah, it was just.
So
I
99%.
bought Progressive, but yeah, it was one of the options.
I shopped around. I went through like everyone. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. What can you quote me?
Yeah, I had to
Erie
get off
Insurance.
of S22 a while back because I got like a DUI when I was younger.
Oh, nice. So
So-
you got off that extra fee?
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
company I was going through was American Family,
Sure.
and they like didn't tell me that it was up. So I was paying for.
They were
like,
trying
an
to charge you extra even though you
I
didn't
was
need it.
paying an extra like 8 months
yeah.
with it, and I was like, I'm gonna switch companies, and it sucks because I know the guy. Like he's part of my family, the guy who was selling me insurance. So I
Well,
don't know why
that's
he didn't.
pretty
tell me.
unethical, though.
He may not
right.
have known.
He might not have known, and
Yeah.
I give him the benefit of the doubt on
But
that.
that's why he
But
switched.
when
Is
I
because I'm
found-
going to go through a company that does remember that and isn't
Yeah.
going to overcharge me.
Yeah.
Well,
8
when I
plus a
when I
month.
saw my progressive rate,
Walgreens just wrapped up their lawsuit.
I was paying
CVS.
$350 a month for insurance for 10, almost 8 years, and I
Yeah.
only needed it for 7.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, when
Dang,
I
son.
switched to insurance,
extra
on
fee, man, that's-
Progressive, I was like, I
that's a
saved
tough.
like $250 a month or whatever, and I'm paying like 50 or $70.
You
a
can
month.
save 80 or more by switching to Geico.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
But
like.
Erie,
Yeah.
the reason they're so cheap, they can undercut pretty much anyone's rate, is because they don't advertise.
Yeah,
They don't
that's
spend
usually
money
why.
in advertisement.
Similar to
Yeah.
what Costco does in Sam Clubs. They don't
Exactly.
advertise.
They
so
don't
they
need
can-
At some
to.
point, you don't
They
need to.
advertise
You don't.
themselves. It's-
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they end up passing that.
So
saying,
that's
"Guys,
the paid
customer-
sponsor ad.
Erie, if you're looking,
B tier.
we will
Yeah, we'll hook you
link
guys
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same team.
Same team.
Right. You help me out, I'll help you out.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
no, definitely recommend.
Mhm.
Highly recommend.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll look into them again. I
yeah,
don't know. Right now, I have a really good rate, so like I don't know. I guess I don't.
Yeah,
need
same with
to
us. We have
change.
a really good rate too. So we have even with our 2 vehicles being on loan, is that we have a pretty solid rate through. I believe it is actually through Progressive. So it's like
You
You
think
know?
you got a good rate until you
Yeah.
start shopping.
well, we just renewed a contract, so it's
Maybe.
like well, we got something to look forward to come I think July. So this way because we have our subscription, our yearly rate is usually up in September or something like that, so we can start researching at that point in time.
There you go. There you go. Well, I think as a consumer, it's your
Yeah.
due diligence to know
Mhm.
what's out there. Too,
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You can keep renewing, auto renewing. That's what they want you to
It's
do.
also you due diligence to have insurance because if you don't, the law's gonna crack down on you.
Yeah, they're more worried about you having insurance than actually the accident.
Exactly.
And you know that's well and good, but at one point, does the federal government have a right to come in and say you need car insurance? Where is that in the Constitution?
I mean, it shouldn't be
Lobbying.
there.
Doesn't it
The
say in the
oligarchies-
Constitution anything not in it is up to the
Null
state?
and void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to the state at that point. If it's not in the Constitution, it's up to the state, right?
Yeah.
So where does the Fed have a right to come in and tell us we need insurance or we need to wear?
Well,
a
it was
seatbelt,
the
right?
federal. It was like the federal insurance act, right? I'm sure there's one of those, or it was like the Interstate Commerce Act.
Yeah, some
That's
product.
probably the one where they
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, we're gonna enable it for everybody
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Yeah, we've been in
If you don't
we've been in
follow the
oligarchy for the last
California and
60
New York
years. So.
terms, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
hipster.
The hipsters and the Wall
Yeah.
Street guys,
Someone's gotta do it.
they
Keep up
dictate
with it.
everything.
In California, they just passed word now they're no longer California no longer offer or allowing RVs and RVs and campers to be sold because it's like since it's such a shithole. They don't want people clouding up the streets with a
You
bunch
could
of
get like 20 homeless
Mhm.
in an RV.
yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah.
They're just gonna buy up all the RVs
You
and
could
park on
solve
our streets.
homelessness.
And
Yeah.
But yeah, they're I
be
don't know when
doing
that
that.
comes into effect, but yeah, that was recently passed. So it's like they
Oh,
no
shit.
longer do it. So there's whatever still existing, but now it's like eventually they're just gonna kick them all out because it's so expensive to live in California. You turn it into a shithole. But
Huh.
then again, it's like big government needs chaos because then it takes away from what they're actually doing wrong.
yeah, nice little distraction. Look over here.
Yeah. What did we put a pin in? I forgot.
So we're talking about
The extinction events.
extinction
yeah, okay.
events.
Extinction
All right.
events, yes.
Carlson. Yeah.
You were about
Graham
to say
Hancock?
something.
Yeah, no, Carl Sagan, science has proven that societies have collapsed before. Dinosaurs was an extinction event, right? The meteor that crashed in the Gulf of Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula,
Mhm.
extinction event. But Death Stranding guy,
Yeah, Daryl Dixon
Kodami.
guy. Yeah, Hideo Kojima.
Hideo
that guy again.
Kojima, that guy, yeah. The Death Stranding storyline is about society rebuilding from an extinction event,
Okay.
right? We've proven extinction events have existed before
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
multiple times.
Mhm.
So how much longer is it before it happens again?
We're fine lining. According to the geologists, I think that the volcanoes are at any point in time to blow up, but they're all speculation because we really truly don't know. Because they're saying like we're past due by thousands of years for the super volcano that's resides in Wyoming. So it's
Well, I think-
the Yellowstone.
NASA,
That one could be dead too.
They could be dead as well.
Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yellowstone
you never
isn't
know.
dead, man. It's still a super volcano.
You never know.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of it, isn't
Yeah,
it? And
never
now we're
know.
getting
'Cause
into
they're
philosophy.
They're not drilling.
No, I
Yeah.
mean they still register seismic activity, so
Mhm.
it's pretty
Yeah.
guaranteed that it is going to erupt again.
Yes.
So you do never know, but it's math is adding up that it's going to happen again.
But the idea though is like
It's
since
inevitable.
Is that where your like head lies, where it's like, oh, this is like the next thing to happen? Or do you think that there's something else that will happen first?
Well, that's the beauty of it, right?
that's the
And
cast theory.
NASA right now, I think in a couple weeks there's going to be a 13-story meteor that's going to shoot by our world, right? Our planet. So there's so many super volcano, meteor. I mean,
Yeah.
the list goes on and
Nuclear
on.
destruction, whatever. You know?
Whether it's man-made or extraterrestrial, right? There's so many possibilities.
We got the Tor media stream that we passed through in June and October, so we got those two
You
things
can't
going on.
remember, Ryan, if we talked about this on or off camera last time, but did we mention the 3-body problem at all
I think
last time you were
I
here?
think we
That must have
vaguely,
been after. 'Cause I don't remember that conversation.
might have been
Take a
after
call.
you
No,
left.
you definitely.
Me
Yeah.
and Phil and Ryan talked for like another 3 hours after
We did.
last
We got
episode.
into a really
You just hit
philosophical
record again, you
conversation,
dumbass.
yeah.
Well, that's what probably said after that, but I feel like you just have better. I don't know. I have better flow off of camera anyway. But
I
Yeah.
have flow
I know.
regardless. I have Riz, man. I got Riz.
He's got that drip. He's got
Unlimited
that.
gas.
Yeah, he's got the drip, man.
Dude, all I do is I'm at home,
Look at
but
this drip.
he's got sauce in his
Yeah.
beard.
Dude, it's
He's
like-
got that up.
I work home alone by myself. It's like I have nobody to talk to, so it's like it's
I
fucking
got
boring.
hours to prepare for this
Yeah, I have hours to
shit.
regurgitate knowledge.
TikTok, he's ready.
Yeah.
Let me flex
I,
it.
no. But so, the like 3-body problem, they talk about like the invasion sequence. Like they have like 400 years to prepare for a extraterrestrial threat, right?
Sure.
And the entire like world kind of goes into chaos, and then they're like, what can we actually do to prevent this and all of that, right? And 3-body problem, like it starts on the first book of like a 3-book series.
Nice.
But I'm excited to see how they do like season 2 on Netflix and
I
stuff.
was gonna say,
But,
they made a
um,
series of Netflix about
Yeah.
that exact same thing.
Yeah, so alien invasion, that's like technically one that could happen. But if that's already with all the UFO disclosure stuff, they might have already been here. So they're
They're
probably
already living among
they're
us, man.
probably- yeah.
Look at that. Look at that face.
This is
I'm a
like
fucking alien, man.
this is like a day situation.
I'm not bust up,
you
but it's
know?
I'm an alien.
They
Why do you
li-
think he's hardcore America? America, this is how I
It's like
adapted.
hardcore Earth,
yeah.
man. Hardcore Earth.
Yeah.
Earth forever.
they live situation, you know. But like, you know, I just always wonder, like, I don't think I'm inclined to believe that that's going to be like the end of human civilization. I think I'm more inclined to believe that it would be some type of super volcano event, maybe an EMP burst, self-assured destruction,
Pathogen,
something.
some
Mhm.
virus.
Could be a virus that would be like a Walking Dead type thing. I don't know. I've said on this channel a lot of times where I'm like, hey, Walking Dead, you know, you're gonna have zombies, and that's
Yep.
gonna be
That's
the
it.
end of it.
Stock up with 22 ammunition, broadsword.
Yeah.
So I think we're
broadswords,
even
yeah.
the fact that NASA is now putting in good chunks of money into like monitoring asteroids, possible extinction events. It's literally 100%. If you think it's an
But
if, you're
NASA's definitely
foolish.
not the place to like follow that kind of stuff.
I
Because
wouldn't follow 'em either.
Yeah, but
I think they
random
have.
question:
Ooh.
Well, that's a random
All right.
do
question.
you believe in the moon landing?
1 billion%.
Okay,
1 billion%.
1,000,000,000%.
And-
That's over 100.
So I
For
just want a
people in the
yes
back.
or a no. I just want a yes or a
It's over
no.
100%.
Do you believe that we've landed on the moon?
No.
Do you?
Yes.
So the reason
But-
I believe, I just
Oh,
wanted a yes or
okay,
a no. The
alright.
reason I believe we've landed on the moon is the fact that there is a mirror on the moon. So Jeff, right now, if you put in enough money to buy a powerful enough laser and a telescope, you could beam this laser up to that mirror on the moon and
All right, Big
come
Bang
back.
Theory.
I mean, it's literally proven. Like you could go on
Jeff, I
YouTube.
bought one of those range finders. You could probably just
It's
beam
guaranteed.
one laser up there. It's like it goes out to like 150 yards.
You can
I'm
do
sure
it
you could probably
yourself.
reach it.
You can do it on your own. If you don't believe
Research is
that
out
we're
for
up
men.
there,
yeah.
Yeah.
you can do it on your own. You can prove this to yourself and others.
He's
Well,
talking
it's-
to you.
It's a fact. I just want people to know. I want people to know.
Yeah.
Because that's like I don't get me wrong. I love a good conspiracy theory, and I think it's very easy, especially as a human.
So you know how I said but?
You did put an asterisk. up
Okay.
there.
All right. I don't think we've gotten
What in the butt?
radio waves or video
like-
waves through the radiation belt. So like when he talks about like the firmament,
okay.
right?
Mhm.
He's probably talking about like that radiation belt that extends from like the moon to the earth.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name.
I
so
know
somebody
what you're
else
talking
is
about.
gonna
Too. I know what you're talking
but
about.
I don't believe we've gotten radio waves through there. So I don't think they would have had communication, which means that we never would have gotten
So
Buzz
Apollo
Aldrin
13, like
sequence,
one
for-
small step for man, one
I-
giant leap.
I think that was made in the Hollywood basement.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, you know, I have the Californication
Yeah, good old- good-
feeling on that. Like,
Mhm.
I think that they filmed it live on Earth and they did broadcast it to everybody here.
Okay.
It was probably happening, but probably not at that time. It might have happened, you know, within that month or whatever.
Hmm.
But I think they would have gotten a moon. Like, I think they would have landed something on the moon. I don't know if I cannot say that there would have been more than one mission that was successful, and I think they only maybe had like one.
So at the end of the
Apollo
day, you
mission that
do
was
still believe
successful.
we've been up there.
Yeah, but the fact that we haven't been back and it's been over 50 years, and they have all of these excuses
Oh,
for
why did
why
we
we
go
don't
up
have the
there?
technology anymore.
Why did we
and
go
why,
up there?
Mhm.
Well, I
We
think
did
going,
it to beat the Soviets.
yeah,
to literally
going up
beat our
there is like a
checks.
life achievement thing.
Right.
It's
It
like
was-
a, it's
yeah,
like
it
a
was-
pedestal.
So now I
thing.
think
It's like-
when humanity is being doomed in multiple fronts, yeah, the money is better spent elsewhere. We can do it again if
No.
we wanted to.
I don't think we can.
Really?
I mean, because we haven't yet, and I
'Cause-
think there's a
'cause now
lot of
there's-
minerals.
you'd be able to see
'cause I think,
through-
like
What's the
logically
benefit?
speaking,
Optics are too real good that we know we can't.
What's
pass
the
the
ROI?
firmament.
Like,
No,
there's
well,
not
I
a
mean,
whole
you-
lot to gain other than knowledge.
mining,
Knowledge is the
mining. It's mining
Asteroids.
minerals.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So, like, you know, if I don't know what they would have found up there, you know, I don't know like what the mining rocks would look like. I don't know what kind of like, you know, if they have lithium, like
Oh, and
whatever
then
it would be.
The moon is the
But-
Earth, right? We know the moon is the Earth.
Part of it, yeah.
We know like a meteor crashed into the Earth and it's
It's like the
forming
two
stages.
planet theory and all that. Yeah.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
so the
kind of
moon is-
explains why we have the Mariana Trench. Maybe the moon came from that area because the Mariana Trench
The
goes
moon
so
came from the
deep.
Earth. An asteroid hit the
Yeah.
Earth when it was forming, and
So- It would
make
it
sense, though, like,
created
to-
the moon
to
from the
eject something that
debris
deep.
of the Earth.
Yeah.
So everything up in the moon is basically here on Earth, minus more asteroids hitting it because it doesn't
Mhm.
have as big of a
Mhm.
gravitational field or magnetic
Sure.
field to defend itself.
Yeah.
So you'll get asteroids that have gold and lithium and fucking
Whatever.
all these crazy minerals that are worth money.
Yeah.
So, but I agree.
That's why I find it hard to believe that we haven't been back, or at least have. I mean, like this, we're already in the year 2024. We were there 50 years ago plus at this point.
Mhm.
Plus, subsequently we've been back there so many times.
Well,
Why have we not gone for
we.
50 years?
So
Yeah.
who do you mean by we? What is your definition of we?
The
if I may?
U.S. government.
Yeah. The
Oh,
U.S. is fucking in shambles. We can't even figure out how to keep our
don't even know what a woman
balance
is.
sheet positive. India just launched people back to the moon like a couple months ago, I
They-
want to say.
They launched
China
those
is
satellites.
looking at building a moon base on the moon. So you can't say it's not possible. India did it a few weeks ago. China is looking to put a lot of money to get ahead of us in that regard.
Sure.
I wonder how much of it is because people are like, we can't get to the moon again. We can. We're just totally fucked in our.
Well, I mean, our private sector seems to be doing more. Like, I mean, when you
And-
talk about like Musk landing rockets back with the payloads that he has,
Which he
and
did.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Um,
Incredible.
You
To
know,
be
and,
able to achieve more than an entire
but then we still have Boeing
government
leaving, yeah.
wing.
Mhm.
Like, that's
Then
incredible.
we
Kinda
still
reminds me of
have
Star Trek
Boeing
First
like
Contact.
leaving people
Shitting
up
at
in
the
the
bed.
ISS
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah,
Boeing
you
is
know.
hiring SpaceX to bring those guys
they
back.
need
Yeah.
to. I mean, just to bring them back. Like, I mean, you would have to do that for your people at
Well,
that
NASA,
point, but it's
after
just, like,
stringing
crazy.
along for so long, they're like, "No, we can't go with you anymore, Boeing. We're gonna use Elon.
Yeah,
we're gonna
use
get these
SpaceX,
guys
please."
back."
Yeah.
Based off the whistleblower you guys killed here a few months ago,
But
back in March, he's like, we can't trust you because you guys produce subpar products.
Only one? I thought there was like
Two,
3.
two,
Yeah,
they killed two.
at
Yeah.
least 2.
They killed the last one when we were there 2 weeks after.
Oh yeah, we were trading
yeah,
the memes.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
we were
yeah,
keeping up
yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
That was a fun turn
But
of
see,
events.
but my thoughts are is like, why haven't we been inducted into a federal alliance yet or something like that? Because we have nutrients and minerals here that we could benefit if we were, let's say there is a federation
Mhm.
outside there. Why haven't we been contacted by them?
Well-
if we've been in the moon, then why hasn't somebody come talk to us yet?
So that is actually
It's
proven scientifically. There's multiple theories to explain why. After what we sent that gold record into space on
Oh, back the helps the
how
Hubble
long ago?
Hubble telescope back
Right.
in 87,
and we've
88.
done multiple, frequencies, shooting it out, trying to figure out, hey, someone respond. So there's multiple theories that can explain why we haven't got an answer. One of my most interesting ones, one I like to think about is, how much time do you spend in your day-to-day life looking at ants and interfering in their lives?
Yeah.
I mean,
Not too
at
much.
But-
Right.
But
So
if we're nutrient
if
rich,
they
though, from
did get our
gold,
message-
lithium, some of that,
Yeah, but the aliens can get all that from like
they can do
star
that
systems.
through anyone. They got Dyson spheres. They can harness the energy of their suns. They don't
Oh,
need
yeah,
our
it's weird they go
gold.
that way,
Yeah.
right away, yeah.
So yeah, the biggest reason is like we're an ant.
but
compared to
we're
them. Why would
easily
we?
we're easily conquerable. So it's like we have an armada that
Well,
comes
But
knocking
like
on
we
the
were
door.
just saying, they don't even need to conquer us.
Yeah, they
like,
wouldn't
do you
need
need to conquer an
to.
ants underground resources to claim theirs?
Maybe it's just because
just don't
the
think we're-
hierarchy we're used to seeing.
Yeah, like I don't
So,
think
on me,
humans are like that special. And, like,
We're
the
really not. We're
the whole,
rudimentary
like,
in
the
the
whole
grand
thing.
scheme.
You know, like the
We're really-
whole. I'm not saying you aren't. I'm not saying you aren't.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
not
definitely
saying
no, I'm not special. I'm
Oh,
just a
okay.
guy that just talks shit.
Yeah, no.
I'm a
But-
guy
Drink
that
whiskey.
has nutrient in me. And,
But, No, because I think like there's I don't know. You got to figure that there's like a million different potential human like planets where they've already
That's
gone
true.
and conquered that.
Or
Well,
we
they don't
consider like
need
where
that,
it takes
you
the
know?
society was like, fuck off.
Yeah, they like came here and they were like, oh, like you guys are like,
It's like
they're
when-
like rolling up the
Like
windows.
when we're going to
they're like-
Chicago and we go
Yeah,
through the
yeah,
south.
yeah,
and, okay,
yeah.
roll up the windows. We're out. We're out. Like,
Yeah.
put the
good luck,
seat back.
guys. Not against you, but we're going over here.
We got a lot of guns in America. They say a gun behind every blade.
And
of
that's what it
grass,
is.
you know?
That's why we haven't gotten a response. Why are you gonna fucking
But-
talk to the ants?
Dude,
It's a
three
valid
body
point.
problem enable like it brings in the question like why are we not scared? You know, because like if we reach out, say we do put out like that golden record and that goes into space, and then some alien finds that,
Mm,
and they're like, okay, we have to
What the fuck is
exterminate
this?
that race.
they're fucked.
Yeah, like
You-
why would so like I don't know if you don't need the say you need the resources on our planet, you kill everything on top of it, and then you get the resources.
Yeah,
Humans don't live during that scenario, right? So I think like humans reaching out, like
and that's really interesting.
I don't think that's a good idea. like,
like-
you know, like you're
I think-
communicating with things you don't understand.
I think it's an
Here's my
amazing
Ridley
idea.
Scott effect, though. It's like if let's say if they want to take our resources, they could release the alien xenomorphs, stuff like that.
Mhm.
They'd eventually cure everybody out. Then eventually the xenomorphs would kill themselves out, and we just come in, sweep in, take everything out. It's like, hey, we're good. Because if let's say the entity that has this technology can live for 200 or 300 centuries,
yeah.
it's like we'll just drop this bomb off, we'll kill everything off, we'll come through, and we'll clean everything up.
Alien Covenant, folks. There's,
Yeah.
an Alien
Yeah.
Covenant.
I don't know. Like the more that we look at space, the less I care about it. The more I'm just
Really?
like, I don't think it matters.
See-
Like I don't think it matters because I think if you do really believe that like the universe is observing itself, like we come from dust of stars, right? We're like trying to, you know, have like the whole experience of like what the universe is. The less I care about like, you know, going into space and traveling
Sure.
out. Now, if you're gonna go purely on like, okay, let's not have our species die out, interplanetary is like 100% the thing.
What is the point of life
So-
is to keep it
It-
going.
Right. I mean, that's the reason that like, you know, rockets look like penises. send them-
Hey, it's
Yeah.
white men developing
Could be about
rockets.
trajectory and
Yeah.
angles, but no, it's
No,
because it's fouling.
Yes. You gotta spread the
It's the
seed.
penetration, man. It's the
It's the
penetration.
Spread life.
Spread the
Spread the life.
Dog symbol.
Terraform. Okay.
You like putting that in your mouth too, don't you?
Motherfucker, you just finished off a
Everything
beer.
looks like a dick.
So did I. So did I. I'm not disputing.
I'm just saying. All right. So yeah, it makes sense like why Elon wants to go to Mars and like terraform it. I get that. It means less chances that like if the super volcano blows
Life will
up
survive.
here, we still have humans over here. So we have a colony, right?
The
We
point
go
of
to-
life is
But that's
still.
why I'm so confused as to why we haven't like extrally gone to the moon back, you know? And when we say about like so you got to imagine too, civilization is playing this entire game right now where we have like 3 multipolar systems where it's like you have Russia,
That's
you
their
have
lives in
China,
Ar-
you have the
Antarctica.
US.
Three
we're
big
gonna have-
polarizing
We're
figures.
going to have a lot of like, we're still going to have a lot of interplanetary fighting going on before
Of course.
whoever comes out of that alive is going to be able to join the Federation, quote unquote. But you have to think the dominary place or the dominary planetary species is going to be the country that
Oh, no,
rises out of
I
that the
disagree.
best.
I
We have the
disagree. I think-
UN.
So look
No,
at the
but-
International Space
But
Station.
like, you know,
How many
US is gonna get
countries
rid
had
of
to
them
come
soon.
together to create the International Space Station?
Isn't it like
Sure,
60?
but
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think
So
you
we actually
know,
have enough GDP to
our
afford it.
future is
that's
solely
that's
dependent
a bunch
on
of science
people-
nerds though. So like you have to think like
Fucking
we just don't have that.
It's
Like, I
fucking
don't
nerds.
know.
Fucking
we
nerds,
do.
man.
We all. We
I just
all.
like to shoot things with
Even-
pointy sticks.
Even in
Yeah.
our rudimentary
But-
understandings, we understand science. You understand physics. You understand how the bow works, how an arrow works, how you have to aim up
Yeah.
if you're going over a certain distance.
yeah.
You know, like science is ingrained in how we're alive today.
Mhm.
Our advancements, why we're living so comfy right now,
Sure.
is like 100% because of science and technology and our advancements, right?
Yeah. Don't listen to that science bitch. over
It's all a bunch of bullshit. It was all me, man.
Libertarian science, man.
I don't know. I think the Industrial Revolution is case in point. We could
The
argue
Industrial
left and right.
Revolution and its consequences are a disaster.
The Industrial Revolution was a myth by the Illuminati. If you believe that shit,
There
You're
we
even
go.
more lost
baby.
than we thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
funny.
I think our only future is together, right?
Well, I think it's gonna be together, but after we solve our
own
I think
inner
it's
turmoil.
Our flaccid issues.
Yeah.
Gotta give everybody Viagra,
Our
you know.
phallic issues.
Everybody has to
phallic
get,
issues, yes.
flaccid issues. I don't know what he said.
We're talking about like
So-
our answer lies within Antarctica because it's like
Yeah.
Antarctica.
because look
That's
but,
gonna disappear in a couple of years, man. It won't be a thing anymore.
but if we're
I
not
mean, it will. It just won't be ice anymore.
yeah,
It'll be
we're gonna-
land
we're-
again.
We're,
Yeah,
gonna see
it'll
some,
be-
we're gonna
it'll be
see
like
shit that we're not
tropics.
supposed to
Let's
see.
get it
the
back into
tropics.
Pangea. Let's like form
Do
our
you think,
countries back.
Well, yeah.
But look, though, it's like
extinction
everybody
events, right?
agreed on
So-
peace in this piece of land, but none of us can get together in the UN. You know what I mean? We have all the UN, but like, hey, Antarctica, we can't touch this. Shh. You can't tell
I
anybody
love how
about
you're
this.
looking at the table like it's a map now.
Yeah, well, Antarctica.
He was very animated with his. Like I could see
It
what
was-
he was
I can see
getting
it.
there. Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
table
That was
for a
crazy.
minute.
So
They might not get it on the camera, but it was there.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Seen Rich, yeah.
Greenland's over here.
I'll vouch
you
for
know?
that. I've seen Antarctica right here.
Antarctica is the
I
ice
see
wall, and
Australia.
we're right here in the middle.
Is that the southern tip of Africa?
I mean, that's like
It's pretty
touching
big
Antarctica.
flaccid
You could throw a
object.
stone.
Yeah.
Well,
Skip a rock.
You're in Antarctica. I could see Australia from my backyard. Okay.
Okay.
But you know what I mean, though? It's like if we could all agree on peace on one piece of land, why can't we agree on peace anywhere else? But there's like the answer we're looking for is over there, but they don't want to let anybody else know because we're not the.
Well, and I've
Okay,
heard,
so
I've heard
is-
theories
is-
about that where like the fucking governments actually like patrol Antarctica. and
Yeah,
don't
they
allow
do.
people-
Yeah, it's not a
If you
theory.
dig,
don't have
you
to
look
put a
at the
theory out.
Admiral Byrd and his
What are they
son.
hiding?
Like they killed his son back in the '80s because he was about ready to redo a
What are
basically a
they
TED Talk.
hiding? What are
Have
they
you got-
hiding?
yeah.
Have you guys seen
But no-
AVP?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
first Predator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
They traveled to Antarctica. That's where they found that
Transformers:
shit.
Age of Extinction. They
Yep.
did that too.
Mhm.
I don't know, so there's a
I'm
lot.
just saying,
of,
I'm just saying.
Hollywood has a DoD
Take what you want.
department, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Part of the
The
defense
DoD has a Hollywood
department, whatever.
yes.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. No, so what do you think they're hiding in Australia or
Antarctica.
Antarctica?
Technology.
Titan.
Yeah.
It was right over here. Godzilla versus Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
shit.
off camera.
But if you look at the
Oh,
last
sorry.
4 years, though,
People in the back.
how many big Titan movies we've shown up, and like Godzilla's been part of the pop culture for the last 60 years.
Did you also
then-
point at Iron Man over here, or did
Yeah.
you point at Jurassic Park?
You
If
know?
we get deep
Well,
enough,
we
we
have
can make
Empire
some
Strikes
strings
Back.
that correlate.
we had the
Iron Man,
Matrix.
Iron Man was rich, okay? He
Yeah, we can
funded
get the-
this
We can get the
technology.
the
He
rap that
funded
goes
this
all the way through my living
Antarctica
room.
defense system. Yeah.
Iron Man is Elon Musk. I
Yeah,
get
no.
it.
The Avengers Tower is on
Yeah.
Antarctica, and that's
Well,
Guarding.
who are the
Argentina.
Avengers? It's Donald Trump. It's RFK
Okay,
Jr.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Elon
Tulsi
Musk.
Gabbard.
Modi. Let's get
Yeah.
Modi.
Tulsi Gabbard is Black Widow. You have
Yeah,
Kanye West as Black Panther. You have Iron
We're fighting
Man,
forever.
Elon Musk. Who do you have? Captain America is Donald Trump. Like, I get it.
Wait, you didn't write in Kanye West as president?
Thank
Cut
you
that,
guys
we're
so much
cutting
for tuning in to the Beat
We're
That
cutting
Cut
that. We're just kind of.
Had to do it. I had to do it.
Oh, you actually want to do a question now? All right.
I think we have to. Isn't it part of like
He's our okay. Let's do
ask our guest? Yeah.
Yep. The guest gets to
So I
pick
get to
questions.
pick.
Beats your
Yep.
bowler
pick.
cap question. Go
Yep.
ahead and subscribe down below. Hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for tuning
really get
in.
some
I
variety.
don't
The
know
whole
what
whopping
hour-
4 questions.
We gotta be at like hour 5 right now. I don't even know.
All right. All
Oh,
right.
about hour 15.
Okay, it's not
Yep,
bad.
Folks.
So what's the question, boss?
Oof. That's a good one. If you made a playlist for a road trip, what song, in parentheses, song or
Or
songs,
songs.
has to be on it?
Oh
You're
man.
going across the state.
Well, I got an
cross-country road
8-hour
trip.
drive, so yeah.
What are you putting on that?
I want to start off. So this would be my discography. I'll start off in the 70s with a little bit of Pink Floyd, a little bit of Led Zeppelin. You know, got to get the Devil Worshippers in there. And then we'll move on to the 80s. We got to throw in some AC/DC, some Twisted Sister. We got to throw on it's a little bit of Anarchy there. We'll bring in some Metallica because you know you got to get the Black Album in there. That's in the 90s. And we roll in the 90s. We got to get in some. So let's see here. We got in the 90s. I'd want to go with Nirvana, along with Soundgarden, with a little bit of let's see here, a little bit of Alanis Morissette. We got to get some angry lesbian music in there. let's continue moving in.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You can't forget equal opportunity. Okay, they get a voice too.
Throw in some White Zombie, Broad Zombie, and Power Man 5000 because he's like, why not have a family trio? Throw in some Static X because Wayne Static, God rest his soul, phenomenal vocalist. You're gonna go from there. Yeah. Then we move into 2000s. We'll throw in some Enya, and we'll go into some Linkin Park, and we'll put in some Disturbed, some Godsmack.
All right. I'm liking that.
Yeah, right. And
You're really getting Brady's interest right now.
All right, and then it's like as we
like that
progress to
70s
the
shit. That was
2000s,
boring.
we'll bring in Dorothy, Sleep Token.
Wasn't even a thought.
It was garbage.
Wasn't even a thought.
Speaking of garbage, she's a phenomenal singer.
Yeah, no, she's coming up too.
That'll go flashback to the 90s, angry
Thank
lesbian
you.
music. So you got that too.
Yeah.
You know, Melissa Etheridge. We can throw in the most famous serial killer, Garth Brooks. And we'll move into some Alan Jackson too, because gotta throw in some country. Because we're
You
going
understand if you read some previous ones.
we talked about, yeah. Luckily, like we just talked about Garth Brooks last episode, so when this episode comes out, that episode will
We're not
come
getting
out
sued
after.
on that one, right?
You know,
We're not Tom Segura. We're not Tom Segura, man.
We're kidding.
Yeah. Then we can continue moving
I
on.
like how Jeff's playlist too. It like goes through all of the different like political philosophies.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of political philosophers, let's throw in some System of a Down.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, why do you want to send the poor?
It's come full circle.
All right, there you
Why
go.
do you want to send the poor?
Rage Against the Machine and Rage for the Machine now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do that one too.
No good.
Lit.
Got a good variety, a good
Yeah.
spectrum there.
Like I said, he goes through all the political spectrums.
that was good. That was
great.
We'll
think
throw
he
in some
literally-
John Joplin.
I think that'll
We can
probably
throw
come
in
out.
some Oasis too. The people that think they're bigger than Jesus.
I think the only thing
Yeah.
he left out was classical, like 1800s. Like other than that, you hit every artist and genre. You hit every.
Mozart's even older.
Like anyone listening is gonna be like, yes, I can identify with that because you just named everything I've ever heard.
Yeah. Literally like every metal band. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, we got 40 years of good the great Tech Nine. So we got 40 years of his school music.
Nina.
Yeah,
Oh.
right. We got Modest Mouse. We got to throw in there too. We got to pump us up. Going through the plains of Iowa.
You can't throw Modest Mouse with the flannel lesbian genre. Okay, like I feel like that's not the same.
That's why we
You
had
see
shuffle.
that
Like, I don't
beanie?
know.
You see that beanie he's wearing every time? I don't know.
That's all we
I'm
had
not
to
wearing
shuffle
the
on,
Beat Your
man.
Beanie, okay, it's rapping.
Yeah.
Well, different name brands though.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
close to that
beanie.
beanie.
It's rapping merch.
Yeah.
I'm not a beanie wearer usually. No, I usually wear a beanie. All right.
Let's say the beanie. It's a stocking cap. Beanies are just one flat piece of fabric that goes around. That's a stocking cap. Because if you need
Exactly.
to, you can drop it lower, so this way you can cover more of your back of your neck to keep the heat in.
Sure.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time out in the cold, so I know a thing or two.
All right. Well, for my song that I think everybody should listen to, it's not going to be as like crazy as whatever's going on over here with all the political ideologies.
We want to get
Getting
we
everyone.
got to throw in some Clearwater Revival. We got to go see it.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Song, my playlist, right?
Yes.
I think I would put a little bit of Kid Cudi in there.
Ooh, there we go.
We probably
Banger.
put some vibes in there.
Pre-allegations of inappropriate stuff with minors.
I didn't know that was a thing.
There's a possible potential.
Whoa.
He's got ties to Diddy. He's got
Anyone,
pictures of him and
anyone who has
It's
money.
everyone. Man, you can't look
Anyone-
up to anybody anymore.
anyone who
Okay.
has money or
Um,
influence.
Mm-hmm.
I think Highway Tune by Greta Van Fleet comes to
Ooh,
mind. Where you
yeah.
probably just like put that in
Greta,
right
yeah.
away. You
Greta's
maybe-
awesome.
Good
You maybe
Greta.
warm that up
Yeah.
a little bit. You're
That
like,
would be a fun place to go see those guys out in Milwaukee. Because those guys are phenomenal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you kind of warm it up with that. You get a little bit of classic '90s rap. Maybe you kind of throw in some like Snoop Dogg and
Ooh,
Easy.
like some Biggie,
Some Busta.
Tupac.
Maybe
A little
yeah.
DMX too, as well.
Nip Hustle comes to
Easy.
mind
Oh,
too.
yeah, there you go.
There
You
go.
kind of do some like classic like vibes on that, and then you kind of shift it. I think maybe about halfway through the drive. So say you're driving for 45 minutes to an hour or whatever. About 30-minute mark, maybe you start kind of playing a little bit more upbeat stuff. You kind of start playing some
You're getting closer.
maybe Marshmallow,
Get
maybe
closer to
some
the
like Juice
destination.
World type stuff.
Gotta
Kinda-
get pumped. Gotta get
Yeah.
stoked.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you kind of wrap it home with like just lo-fi beats to pull in
Some nice yellow submarine by the
you know?
There you
Beatles,
go.
you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
something.
The upside is he's gonna have a whole nother perspective because like mine's all heavier, angry rock with a little bit of history, with a little bit of
Yeah.
classic. You got the rap, and it's like it's gonna be fun listening
But
to your record.
also,
your record.
like a big thing about DJing is like getting the vibe set. So it's like,
True,
yeah.
true. Good point.
I used to mix, so like I don't know.
Yeah,
I
He's got the
SoundCloud
soundboard.
rapper.
He's got
Yeah.
the
He's got
soundboard.
sound- he's a SoundCloud rapper. Yeah.
Where are you going?
So my playlist, I'm actually gonna go against the grain. You guys, very very thorough. Literally listen to everything.
Like
that could
he's
ever
gonna get the
exist.
short out of this. I think.
Yeah. You gotta.
You
I'm
can
gonna-
say whatever you want.
Three
This is
shorts
not
here.
gonna be
I'm not gonna
content.
top it. I'm not gonna top that. But
I'm kidding.
I honestly, when I'm
kidding.
going on a road trip, I like variety, so I put it on a playlist. I put it on like a random shuffle.
Mhm.
So Spotify, I'm a Spotify guy. Love them.
Yeah.
They're hosting our
Likewise.
podcast, so right, they're good peeps. But yeah, so like when you go into the main page, they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, recommended for you."
What's like the band that you start with usually though? Like, don't you? Okay, because say you like do recommended songs from Post Malone,
Yeah.
right? So like Post Malone, that recommended group is going to be way different than
gotcha.
if you say, "Hey, recommend songs from Eminem, like 1990s LP, Slim
That's fair.
Shady."
That's fair.
That's going to be way different. And Post Malone's still a rapper, right?
Mhm.
But he does a
He's
country
not
album.
country
now.
anymore.
He does a
No.
country album now.
He does a little bit of everything from K-pop to
He's got a
hip hop
very
to
very
rock.
big
Yeah, yeah.
genre.
So
yeah.
He's capitalizing on corners.
I'll give you this.
Smart.
Whenever I do like random playlists, I will just shuffle Post Malone songs. So like you might not
Posty.
always get Posty, but you'll get songs like Post Malone.
Okay.
And the algorithm's pretty good at like
upbeat-
recommending that, and it's really good like party vibes. Like when
Sure,
you're just hanging
sure.
out with people, talking, having fun. Post Malone in the background.
DJ for the
100%
birthday party
what
right
do.
there.
There
Get
you go.
hired.
Set.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can
so
do that.
if we
you
gotta
want-
if we gotta
yeah,
generalize a
we have
bit
music
farther,
Mhm.
yeah.
I guess I would generally start off with the classic rock.
Okay.
That's what I was born and raised with. That's what I identify with. I think they got some good messages and they got some good fucking licks, right? They play
Mhm,
the
mhm.
electric guitar and it just fucking bangs.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's your favorite country rock artist?
I don't like country
Or,
a lot.
Or classic rock? Yeah.
Classic rock? I mean, that's tough. There's so many influential. Fuck. I think the Beatles would be the wrong answer because they're more classical. You know, they're 40s, 50s.
Mhm. Influenced, yeah, but they came out in the
Yeah.
60s, so yeah.
So if I had if you could
pop rock?
shoehorn the Beatles in a classic rock, I'd go with that. Otherwise,
Mhm.
I'd go with Led Zeppelin.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think
Zeppelin's great.
I
Mhm.
mean, they're fucking their guitar.
Yeah,
there's none
60s
better.
and 70s
There's
got
none.
some
Jimmy
some
Page.
bangers, man.
It just doesn't get better than that.
Especially Ozzy when they had Randy Rhoads back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we definitely go with some classic rock to start off the journey, get us into the vibes, into the zones. I might go into indie midway through, just so you get variety.
Like Hippocampus. What are you thinking?
Indie, anything indie.
What's like your favorite indie artist right now?
my favorite indie? Shit.
Like Tame Impala. String Cheese Incident. That's more folk.
I was gonna say we're going to old school indie. Yeah, no, I would say Flaming Lips would probably be my
Ooh,
Flaming
Flaming
Lips.
Lips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Flaming
solid
Lips.
choice.
My favorite indie of all time.
All right,
Another band I seen out in Milwaukee put on one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
there you go.
50-foot inflatable robot coming up on stage. This motherfucker rolling onto the crowd in an inflatable ball. Like, how does it get
That's
better than that? How does it
crazy.
get better than that?
Mhm.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, by all time, favorite indie, gotta go to the Flaming Lips. They just entirely different. They just changed the game.
yeah,
But I go indie just because it's the variety that I was mentioning earlier.
yeah.
you know, with
Indie
that-
has like folk influence. It has a lot of alternative rock influences. It's
So then
got
you get-
kind of everything.
you get the variety with that one. So you start off
Is that
classic
like
rock.
too much variety though? I know, like as a DJ, I say yes, but
But that's why we're mixing it up, right? We got classic rock for the first couple hours to get us hyped up, right?
yeah, yeah.
Get those fucking guitar licks, you get those drum solos, you're fucking stoked. get some indie to fucking, okay, we still got a while to our journey.
Yeah.
Let's, you know,
This is
mellow
like
it out a
hour
bit.
3.
Guys,
Mellow it out,
yeah.
the more I think about it, the more I just want to play like Rush Limbaugh radio. You know what I mean? Like,
You didn't say we
or-
could do
or Alex
podcasts.
Jones. We just need some hype. That's all we need. Like, true national treasure. Right there. It's your pod. You guys
Or-
are great. We're gonna go ahead and cut the last 45 minutes.
For
You
your
guys are great.
interest.
Go listen to Greta Van Fleet, Highway Tune. I love that song. Go follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all of that. And
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
have a great rest of your night. So, anyways.